Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode on the Bodybuilding News Network. As always, I am your host, Saunch. Thanks for checking out the channel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Boston Pro, specifically in the men's classic physique division, their competitor lineup leading into that Boston Pro. Totoro is very excited, so if you are also excited, make sure you stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Otherwise, if you're not interested and you clicked on the video, I don't know. I'll see you later. But anywho, for those of you that swung by and wanted to check out this scorecard, we have lots of new athletes that we're going to get introduced to in this video. So you're going to want to stay tuned for the entire one. As of recording this video, about 5-6 o'clock in the evening of the 7th of March, we have, I think it was 11 competitors that are going to be competing in the men's classic physique division. And of course, there might be some more that are going to jump in prior to or post of the Arnold Classic. Totoro agreeing. He loves it when I'm talking and he likes to talk over me. So enjoy him in this one. But let's go ahead and start off with the first competitor. On the scorecard, it says AbdelKarim Ammari. But if you go onto his Instagram, he just goes by Cremo Ammari. And the last time we saw Crema Ammari was at the 2021 Tsunami Cup Pro in the Classic Physique, where he placed 8th. I'll put the photos up on the screen for you so you can check that out. And he has been kind enough to post some physique updates on Instagram. I'll also put those on the screen for you. So, overall, I think he has a great shape, great physique. I don't know how he's going to compare against some of the bigger guys, especially since we have a Mr. Olympia in the classic physique in this scorecard. So it will be interesting to see what the judges are looking for, but we'll leave all those predictions till we get a little closer to the show, and maybe even after prejudging to see where everything's going to be landing. Now, next up on the scorecard is going to be Andrew Wilson. I don't know why I got so confused with that one, but Andrew Wilson, he goes by smoothboydrew _IFBB _pro on the Instagram. And the last time we saw Andrew Wilson compete was at the 2021 Chicago Pro. Chicago, love it. I miss living in the Midwest, in the upper Midwest. Chicago Pro, where he placed 16th or did not place. I'm not too sure. I didn't look that deep into the scorecard, but 16th place nonetheless. Recent physique updates on his Instagram. As always, all the athletes' Instagram information is going to be in the description of the video. Make sure you check that out and support these athletes. That's what we're all about here on BNN. He hasn't posted too much physique updates, in my opinion. He has posted some, looks like 3 days ago, doing a most muscular and then some back shots, but not really giving us a good idea of what a front double is going to look like for him. Maybe some side shots would be nice too, but he looks full. He definitely looks full. I wonder about the conditioning. The glutes don't look very sharp. The hamstrings don't really look very dug out. Just nitpicking. He looks great, but again, we'll be interested to see where he lands in this lineup. Next up, we have Antonio Cummings. He goes by Antonio Cummings 49 on Instagram. Descriptions in the video, of course. And the last time we saw Antonio Cummings compete was at the 2021 Pittsburgh Pro, where he placed 15th. Moving over to his Instagram, he has been posting some footage, not as much as recent as we'd like to see, but looking at a video from February 21st, crazy vascularity in the legs. I'd like to see some more footage, maybe in the chest department, maybe in the back department, but it looks like he was featured on Rich Gaspari's TikTok. So check out his Instagram, where you can see that post. But Antonio Cummings will be competing in the men's classic physique. Next up, we have the Dreamweaver, Bartley Weaver IV, will be competing at this show. The last time we saw Mr. Weaver compete was at the 2021 Puerto Rico Pro, where he placed 7th in men's classic physique. He was also at the Arnold Classic as a spectator, doing a very cool posing routine, imitating the Arnold, the famous statue of Arnold outside of the convention center. So very cool to see that. Beyond that, he's been pretty transparent about physique updates, at least posting them, you know, maybe not full on front double, front back, like, you know, like I would like to see, like you would like to see. But looking at this physique update from his Instagram, you can tell that he has some vascularity going on. You can see the glute separations, striations in his glutes, and some forearm veins. So expect to see him in relatively good shape, but looks like he's keeping everything under wraps for the most part outside of that. So check out his Instagram if you're interested. But Mr. Bartley Weaver will be competing in classic physique. A big name and probably the favorite to take home the title of Boston Pro Classic Physique for 2022 is the previous Mr. Olympia in the classic physique, is Breon Ansley. Or technically, I guess I used to make the I used to argue with you guys saying they're not the Mr. Olympia, but they are the classic physique Olympian champion. So maybe I should just say Olympian champion. I don't know. It doesn't. It's just it's minutia at this point. It's micro, not macro. Anywho, Breon Ansley will be competing. He placed 4th at the Arnold Classic, this most recent one. Very controversial in my opinion, but we will be doing a separate video for that, so stay tuned for that. We'll do a little breakdown of the men's classic physique at the 2022 Arnold Classic. But Breon Ansley, a favorite to come into this show. And like I said, his most recent show was the Arnold Classic just this weekend, 2 days ago. Another competitor that we just saw at the Arnold Classic was Darwin Uribe. I never get that one right. And he has his username flipped, so it's Uribe_Darwin on Instagram. So sometimes I'll mess that up as well, because something some people think is you mess up someone's name, it's like you're running their career through the mud. It's like you can slip up, you can say things wrong, and you know, sometimes I'll re-record things, but typically I just like to give you guys the raw bit of my thoughts. But when we look at Darwin here, I love his physique. When he won the, I believe it was the Chicago Pro in classic physique, he gave an amazing victory speech, and he just has a great physique, great flow. He is a little undersized compared to some of the other guys, so you know that is unfortunate, but he does bring fantastic conditioning, so that there's a good chance that his conditioning and separation could carry him at this Boston Pro to put him in that upper echelons of that first call out. So expect that, but we'll see more of him this weekend at the Boston Pro Men's Classic Physique. Another competitor that we want to see is that we just saw him was Mr. Divine here. He just competed at the Arnold Classic as well. Divine Wilson competed at the 2022 Arnold Classic in Classic, of course. And I'm pretty sure he placed 7th, but let me check my numbers here. He did place 7th, okay. But yeah, overall, I think he could have come in a little bit sharper, especially when you come into the chest. And then I also think he could probably work on his posing just to present himself a little bit better. From the back, I think he looks fantastic. He presents his physique very well. But from the front, I think he could clean it up just a little bit. Maybe go for a more traditional front double. But that's just nitpicking. 4-time Olympian, 2-time IFBB Pro Champion. I'm sure he has it figured out at this point. But we will see Mr. Divine Wilson at the Boston Pro. A newcomer and a pro debut is going to be Jared Keys on Instagram at jaredkeysbodybuilding, no space. A guy, he's been, if you don't know, if you tag me on Instagram, like I'll repost you and your name's going to be fresh. So that's always a perk. But Jared's been hitting me up a little bit, and what can I say, guys? He's got some great legs, great structure, great flow to his physique, fantastic vacuum, cute kid in this photo. And the last time we saw him was when he got his pro card. I believe it was the Junior Nats. Yeah, 2021 NPC Junior USA Championships is where he won his pro card, and this will be his pro debut. So best of luck to Jared. We'd like to see you in that first call out, so get out there and earn it. Another competitor on the scorecard is Laconia Seymour, and he posted a super cool video. Boston Pro, the team over there, they have a bunch of merch on their store page, and go check it out if you want to. But they had these gym duffels that were just really cool, had the Boston Pro tags on them and everything. And they actually sent this guy a custom one with his name on it. And I just thought that was such a fun thing for them to do for their competitors. I don't know if it's for everyone or if it's an option where you can get them customized, but very cool. I'd love to see a IFBB Pro Media bag. But anywho, guys, he's going to be coming into this show. He has been sharing some physique updates on his Instagram. For the most part, showing off some vascularity in the biceps, the delts, the forearms. For the most part, clothed, but he does look pretty gnarly coming into this show. I do believe that this also is another pro debut. It looks like Mr. Seymour won his pro card at the 2021 NPC North American Championships in the Masters. So this will be his pro debut in men's classic physique. So best of luck to him. Overall, I mean, he looks like he's put on some size since his pro card win, but we will see. We will see. I'd like to see some more posing routines from him, but overall, very excited. I love seeing pro debuts. So best of luck to Laconia Seymour. Next up is Mr. Shaw _ IFBB Pro. On Instagram, Lamar Shaw is the next competitor on the scorecard for us. The last time we saw Lamar was actually at the Tampa Pro, the 2021 Tampa Pro. I don't know if he didn't place or if it was 16th, but it says that he did place 16th, which I think is shocking. He has a phenomenal physique, great legs from the front and the back, which, sometimes it's one or the other, but I think Mr. Shaw here has done a great job building his physique. The legs look phenomenal, very peaked delts from the side, and it just flows very well. There's not a lot of gaps with his physique. If I were to be nitpicking, I would like to see Mr. Shaw a little bit sharper. You can kind of tell that he has a little bit of fluid, a little bit of fat storing in that lower back. So although it does add a nice layer of fullness to his physique, I think that in 2022, a good strategy would be to go for the more conditioned look. And if the judges say, hey, we want you bigger, you can carb load a little bit more, insulin load a little bit more, and then just come in just 5% more, 10% more full, and go for that fullness look. But I think it's a good, in my opinion, it's a good starting point to come in more conditioned and then adjust moving forward, especially if it's a 2-day show, which I guess you usually don't get that except for at the Olympia, but you never know. Shows might change. But yes, Mr. Shaw will be competing at the Boston Pro as well. Now, the next one, I do apologize, Michael Bell, if I did get the wrong Instagram, but it does look like it's a fit person, so I did want to tag you, mbell971. I do apologize if that is the wrong one, but overall, he looks phenomenal. The last time we saw Mr. Bell was at the Puerto Rico Pro. I do think I tagged the wrong guy, so apologies there. But Michael Bell, phenomenal physique, placed 9th at the Puerto Rico Pro, the 2021 Puerto Rico Pro, and great physique, great separation with the legs, great flow to the physique. But the one photo that I took, and you'll see it, he does not look like he's having a fun time. So I would say that would be the dig, is to work on smiling a little bit. And then also a little bit more conditioning in the hamstrings. It just looks a little shallow, but again, nitpicking at that point. But Mr. Bell will be in the Classic Physique. This is not his pro debut, so good to know. Next up, we have Ricardo Martinez. I was going to say Martin, but Martinez. He will be doing the Boston Pro. And the last time we saw Martinez compete was at the NPC North American Championships, where he won his pro card in the Masters division. So this, again, will be our third pro debut at this show. So very exciting in the Classic Physique. A lot of new names is I enjoy finding these new guys, not new to, bodybuilding, but, new to this channel. I'm becoming a new fan of them. And that's probably one of my most favorite parts about doing this commentating piece, this media piece, is all these new names I get to find, all these new people I'm introduced to. So Mr. Martinez, looking forward to your pro debut, good sir. But just looking at his pro debut, or his pro card win, very thick in the back. He definitely has like a bodybuilder's-esque vibe to him, but shrunk into the Classic Physique. So I'd like to see some more sneak peeks from him, but overall, it looks like he has a really good structure. He has a great flow, small waist, lots of muscle. So if he can bring a really, really conditioned version of some of these gym photos that we're seeing, I think he could be a very good surprise at this show. So best of luck, Ricardo Martinez. And our last competitor, IFBB Pro, Tony Duong. I do apologize. I'm sure I'm butchering it terribly. But the last time we saw him was at the 2020 Battle of Texas in the Classic Physique, where he placed 9th. So it looks like he took the 2021 competitive season off. And I think that is a crime to Classic Physique, because this guy has some wheels. He's great structure, great flow to his physique, tiny midsection, very competitive upper body, full chest, great arms, a good sag to the triceps too. I like to see that as well, especially in Classic. Sometimes they get a little undersized when you look at some of the competitors. But Mr. Tony will be doing the Classic Physique at this year's Boston Pro. I was going to say Twaston, but Twaston isn't a place. But the Boston Pro is definitely a thing. You can order the merch I was just talking about on the Boston Pro Instagram page. It's I'll actually pull it up right now. It is on their Instagram page. You go to their homepage, and it has a link right there where you can buy merch. You can buy the live stream will be available. And it also gives you ticket information if you'd like to see the show in person. I am not affiliated, but I do want to support the show, as we do all love bodybuilding. Looks like the show is going to be this weekend, so stay tuned for that, guys. I believe the 12th and 13th is the Boston Pro. So looking forward to that. That'll do it for the Classic Physique complete lineup for this year's 2022 Boston Pro. I hope you enjoyed. My name's Saunch. Thank you for watching another episode on the Bodybuilding News Network, BNN. Check out the links in the description to support the athletes, and check out my links if you want to support me personally. I do appreciate all the help. But that's it. Thanks so much for watching another episode on BNN. I'm your host, Saunch, and I'll see you guys in the next one.